The hypothetical visit of Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, to Malaysia would be a significant event in the ongoing diplomatic relationship between Malaysia and the United States of America. Malaysia, a Southeast Asian country with a federal constitutional monarchy and a diverse population of Malays, Chinese, Indians, and indigenous peoples, has maintained formal diplomatic relations with the United States since shortly after its independence in 1957. The United States, a federal republic and one of the world's most powerful nations economically, militarily, and politically, has engaged with Malaysia, not only as a partner in regional stability, but also as a trading partner and a strategic in Asia. A visit by Trump would symbolize continued cooperation and an opportunity to reinforce shared goals such as economic growth, security cooperation, and geopolitical stability in a world marked by changing power dynamics, rising nationalism, and intensifying global challenges. Trump's presidency, which lasted from January 2017 to January 2021, emphasized America's strategic interests in the Indo-Pacific region, economic competitiveness, and a focus on reshaping trade relationships. During his term, Trump engaged with leaders across Asia, including ASEAN representatives, to address issues such as trade balances, maritime security in the South China Sea, and counter-terrorism efforts. For Malaysia, hosting a former U.S. presidentess, one as prominent as Donald Trump would reflect its status as a respected regional actor capable of engaging with global powers while maintaining its own independent foreign policy. Malaysia practices a foreign policy founded on principles of non-alignment, peaceful conflict resolution, and constructive engagement with all nations, including major powers like China, Japan, and the United States. Despite differences in domestic politics, governance models, and national priorities, Malaysia and the United States have sustained constructive and pragmatic relations for decades, demonstrating that countries with varied systems can find common ground on issues of mutual interest. A visit by Trump would both acknowledge this history and provide an occasion for reaffirming commitments to deepening ties in the present day.
I don't care what you say, this is the coolest president ever.
I love him so much.
The strength of the relationship between Malaysia and the United States can be observed across multiple spheres: economic ties, security cooperation, educational and cultural exchange, and shared commitment to global issues. Economically, the United States has been one of Malaysia's most important trading partners. For many years, Malaysian exports to the United States have included electronics, machinery, agricultural products, rubber, and palm oil, while American exports to Malaysia have included machinery, aircraft, agricultural goods, and technology products. The United States has also been a significant source of foreign direct investment in Malaysia, contributing to the development of Malaysia's manufacturing and service sectors. American multinational corporations operate in Malaysia, creating jobs and fostering technological transfer. While Malaysian companies have engaged in business activities in the United States and beyond, trade relations between the two countries have been shaped by agreements and frameworks that support economic cooperation and reduce barriers, even as global trade dynamics shift due to issues like tariffs or supply chain restructuring. In terms of security, Malaysia and the United States have worked together on defense cooperation, joint military exercises, and efforts to combat terrorism. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command has engaged with the Malaysian Armed Forces through training programs, officer exchanges, and collaborative exercises such as the annual Cooperation Afloat Readiness and Training CARAT series, which has aimed to enhance maritime security, disaster response, and interoperability. These engagements underscore a mutual interest in maintaining peace and stability in Southeast Asian waters, including the South China Sea, where freedom of navigation and respect for international law are priorities for many regional stakeholders. Moreover, both nations have cooperated in counter-terrorism initiatives, intelligence sharing, and law enforcement training to address threats from extremist groups. On the cultural and educational front, thousands of Malaysian students have studied in the United States over decades, further strengthening people-to-people ties. These exchanges have allowed Malaysians to gain expertise in various academic fields while fostering cross-cultural understanding. Malaysian Americans and alumni of U.S. educational institutions often serve as informal ambassadors of goodwill, enhancing bilateral relations beyond formal government engagement. These multifaceted connections demonstrate that the relationship between Malaysia and the United States extends beyond formal treaties and encompasses economic interdependence, shared security interests, educational linkages, and personal connections that bind the peoples of both nations.
If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute, and I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars, so you'll be able to buy, they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. And not only are the tariffs strengthening our alliances, they're also bringing peace to the world. On Sunday in Malaysia, we signed the Kuala Lumpur peace accords, ending forever the war between Cambodia and Thailand. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. We're making trade deals with Cambodia and with Thailand, and I sort of watch what I do. I don't go to the beach and sleep all day. I like to watch. And I see Cambodia, Thailand, among many other nations. And this is true for numerous other deals, too. But I see Cambodia, Thailand, and I read a front-page story about the fact that there were thousands of dead people along the border. And they fought for a long time. And I said, wait a minute, we're making deals? And they're starting a war? They were just starting, and it was vicious. Thousands of people were killed along the border. There are two borders. And I said, let's call the head. I didn't know the heads of either one. I called them. They were both great people and sort of reasonable. I said, listen, you want a trade deal? We're not going to make a deal with you if you're going to be in war. Then I called Cambodia. I called Thailand. I called Cambodia, back and forth. And after about 2 days, we ended up with the help of Malaysia. Malaysia was like a mediator. We used a beautiful facility in Malaysia because it was too hot. The other two, and I don't mean hot weather-wise. I mean it was hot. It was too hot with bullets flying all over the place. And Malaysia was fantastic, and they helped implement it. The prime minister was great guy. Just left him. And within 2 days, we signed a deal. And the two people came in. They were like best friends. It was a beautiful thing to see. We saved, probably millions of lives. They've had a tempestuous relationship for, I said, for how many years? 500 years. They said, that's a long time. That's a long time. But we think this is going to be, hopefully, I use the word everlasting. Same thing in the Middle East. We hope it's going to be everlasting peace.
Presiden Amerika Syarikat Donald Trump mencuri perhatian sebaik tiba di Malaysia apabila secara spontan menari bersama kumpulan penari tradisional tempatan. Ketibaan Trump disambut oleh Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim dan diiringi persembahan tarian kebudayaan sebagai tanda alu-aluan. Beliau yang turun dari Air Force One berwarna biru putih iaitu Boeing 747-200B dilihat tersenyum dan mengikut rentak penari dengan gaya santai. Aksi berkenaan mengundang sorakan dan tepukan gemuruh daripada orang ramai yang hadir menyaksikan detik bersejarah itu. Trump kemudian sempat menyapa beberapa rakyat Malaysia yang berada di kawasan sambutan berkenaan.
In conclusion, the bilateral relationship between Malaysia and the United States is grounded in decades of engagement, mutual interests, and pragmatic cooperation. A visit by Donald Trump to Malaysia would serve as a reminder of the long history of diplomatic interaction between the two countries, as well as the dynamic and evolving nature of that relationship. While Malaysia pursues an independent foreign policy, guided by non-alignment and regional cooperation, it has consistently engaged with the United States as a partner in promoting economic prosperity, security cooperation, and people-to-people exchange. The United States, for its part, views Malaysia as a key partner in Southeast Asia, a region of significant strategic importance due to its economic growth, strategic waterways, and role within ASEAN, The Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Both countries have navigated global challenges such as economic recessions, security threats, and changes in the geopolitical landscape, finding ways to collaborate on issues like trade, maritime security, and educational exchanges. The durability of Malaysian states ties reflects the ability of countries with different political systems and cultural backgrounds to build relationships based on respect, shared interests, and constructive dialogue. As global power dynamics continue to shift, maintaining strong diplomatic, economic, and security relations will remain vital for both Kuala Lumpur and Washington. A visit by a former U.S. president such as Donald Trump would underscore the ongoing significance of this bilateral partnership and reinforce commitments to cooperation in the years ahead. Fundamentally, the Malaysia-United States relationship exemplifies how nations can pursue mutual benefit while respecting sovereignty and national priorities, ensuring that both countries continue to engage productively on the world stage.